Hello, my name is Ray Provencio and I am a Chief Warrant Officer 4 who retired from the United States Marine Corps. I was in the Marines for 25 years and I joined in 1974. During my career I spent 2 years as a military policeman and 2 years as a drill instructor. I was a personnel officer when I retired in 1998 and stationed at the Marine Corps Air Station, Miramar.
My name is Alvaro A. Provencio. I'm a gunnery sergeant in the United States Marine Corps. I spent 20 years from 1978 to 1998. I'm an airframes aviation mechanic by trade. I spent 2 years as a Marine Corps drill instructor. Most of my career was spent at MCAS Tustin, California. I retired out of MCAS Miramar, California.
My name is Michael Chan. I'm a captain in the United States Marine Corps. I've been serving in the Marine Corps for 6 years, and I'm currently stationed with Advanced Infantry Training Battalion, School of Infantry West.
Why did you join the military?
I joined the Marine Corps because I wanted to follow in my father's footsteps.
I didn't join the military, I joined the Marine Corps. And the reason I joined the Marine Corps was it was who my family is. And it's something I had to do, and it was mostly because I really admired my father as a Marine.
I joined the military so I would have an opportunity to serve my country, especially after the events of 9/11 when terrorists attacked New York City, as well as the Pentagon.
Why did you choose the Marine Corps?
There was nothing else to choose.
I chose the Marine Corps because I wanted to be a part of an elite organization who focuses on developing highly skilled and trained individuals who are mentally and physically tough.
What did your job entail?
Well, as a personnel officer, I was responsible for the administrative support provided to the Marines and all the units that I was attached to. When I was a drill instructor, I was training recruits and teaching them how to be basic United States Marines. As a military policeman, I guarded the gates at the Naval Station San Diego and Naval Station Miramar at that time.
It was mostly aviation maintenance, but in that there was a lot of leadership from when I was just a young Marine all the way through my career.
As the operations officer, I coordinate training for the 1st and 3rd Marine Divisions, where we basically train Marines who have been in the Marine Corps anywhere from 2 to 15 years on advanced infantry skills, focusing on maneuver warfare and Marine Corps doctrine.
Can you tell us what kind of weapons and vehicles you used while in the Marine Corps and what you used them for?
Throughout my career, I used many weapons that the Marine Corps has in its arsenal. When I was an MP, I used the shotgun, the M60 machine gun, the .45 caliber pistol. When I was training to become an officer, I used the .50 caliber machine gun, the M60, the M203 grenade launcher, the .45 caliber pistol, the 9mm caliber pistol. During my time in Desert Storm, we drove the Humvee, for a lot of the things that we did, like loading ordnance and making supply runs.
What kind of aircraft did you support?
I supported both fixed wing and helicopters or rotor blades. I worked on the old aircraft that they used in Vietnam, the A4s and the F4s, and then I also worked on the helicopters, the biggest helicopters that the United States have, and that's the CH-53 Sikorsky, and also the CH-46, and a little bit of the Cobras and the Hueys.
What kind of weapons, vehicles, and tactics do you teach Marines to use?
At Advanced Infantry Training Battalion, we train the Marines on everything from advanced rifleman skills to machine guns, mortars, rockets, demolitions, missiles, close air support, and indirect fire support.
While in the Marine Corps, were you involved in any conflicts?
Yes, 2 conflicts. The first one was in 1980 and 81. We were off the coast of Iran and Afghanistan. We were the Iranian-Afghanistan contingency force. During that time, the hostages from the Iranian embassy were there, and we were the contingency force ready to rescue them. I was also in Desert Storm and Desert Shield in 1990 and 1991.
What kind of operations did you participate in while there?
Once again, I participated in the Iranian-Afghanistan contingency force. We were 60 miles off the coast of Iran in preparation for any possible assault that we might perform in trying to rescue the hostages, the embassy hostages. I also participated in Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm. We were part of the Marine contingency force there on the island of Bahrain. We had 112 Marine Corps F-18s who left there and performed bombing missions and fighter escort missions from the island of Bahrain.
Were you ever involved in a conflict?
The biggest one that I can recall is I did a few months in Somalia, and this was for Operation Restore Hope.
When and how long were you there?
I was there from the end of 1992 into mid-93.
What kind of operations did you participate in while there?
Well, the operation was called Operation Restore Hope, and the purpose of our mission was to restore some order and to provide needed things for the people of Somalia and food.
Before your current job, have you ever been involved in a conflict?
Yes, I participated in Operation Enduring Freedom, where I did a 7th-month deployment to Helmand Province, Afghanistan in 2010.
What kind of operations did you participate in while there?
We conducted counterinsurgency operations as well as a deliberate clear of the insurgent-controlled town of Safar, where insurgents had taken over a bazaar and emplaced multiple IEDs that were preventing the civilian population from conducting their normal daily business as well as living a safe and healthy life. So as a unit, in conjunction with the U.S. Army as well as the U.S. Navy, we conducted a deliberate clear to remove all of the explosives in and around the bazaar in order to allow life to get back to normal.
What was war like?
Well, we were well trained, so we were confident in our abilities of performing any mission that the higher headquarters had assigned to us. Of course, we were concerned that somebody could be shot down, and all the pilots that were flying the aircraft were my friends, so I was concerned that some of them wouldn't come back. But all our pilots made it throughout the whole war without being injured. A couple of them were shot at and had their engine shot out, but they made it back to our base.
I wouldn't really consider this war. I'd consider this more as we were trying to help the people there. And there we did see people killed and people shot, people wounded. and we helped medevac some of the people out of there. But it was just doing something good for another country that needed our help.
War was a very physically and mentally demanding evolution, where it really tests your ability and your training to see if you're prepared to make snap decisions when the time calls for it.
Did your military training prepare you for war?
Yes, I was confident in my abilities to handle any situation, and whether it was stressful or downtime, I was able to take care of my Marines, set the example, and make sure that they were confident in their abilities to handle any situation.
I believe that it did. I believe that the leadership that we gained all the way from boot camp and through my career as a Marine and up to the point where we were in Somalia, it helped us so that we wouldn't be nervous. Although there was times we were afraid, or there was times when we had some concerns, we would just keep doing what we needed to do.
Yes, my military training was very important because it gave me the foundation to make snap decisions and effectively counter what the enemy was doing.
While in the Marine Corps, did you witness any changes with regard to personnel, equipment, or tactics?
I spent 20 years in the Marine Corps, and during that 20 years there was many changes. Every time we changed the commandant, or we changed the unit, or we went somewhere, there was always changes. Also, there was changes of presidents. There was changes of certain politicians. So yes, I did see many changes. When I first joined the Marine Corps, we had very little funds to do our missions. Most of the time it would be try to do with what you have, while we saw other military forces like the Air Force and the Army would have funds to accomplish their mission. We would have to sometimes do with very little. But because we are Marines, we were very efficient and we were able to adapt and overcome.
Since joining the Marine Corps, have you witnessed any changes with regard to personnel, equipment, or tactics?
Yes, since joining the Marine Corps, we've put a bigger emphasis on counterinsurgency operations, and as we draw down in Iraq and Afghanistan, we're effectively reducing the amount of Marines in the entire Marine Corps in order to save money and focus on expeditionary operations.
I joined the Marine Corps in 1974, right after Vietnam, or during the tail part of Vietnam, and I retired in 1998. During that time, there was a lot of major changes. The technology advanced significantly. Our tactics advanced significantly. Our equipment changed from being the old Vietnam style and World War II backpacks to the more modern backpacks, the more modern rifle. We went from the M14 to the M16. The vehicles, we changed from Jeeps that were called CJ5s to Humvees. So yes, there was a significant change in what we used.
Do you think any of those changes resulted from lessons learned during war?
Yes, definitely, and that's what part of the Marine Corps' philosophy is to look at lessons learned, submit lessons learned reports after each exercise, after each encounter, and build on them. So we learn from everything that we've done in World War II, in Vietnam, in Desert Storm, and improved on them.
Based on your knowledge, do you think the Marine Corps has evolved to remain relevant?
Yes, the technology in use by the Marine Corps nowadays is more complex, and we've taught our Marines how to evolve with that technology and become more proficient in the use of avionics, information technology, cybersecurity. Back when I came in, we'd never even heard of those things, and the computer age was just barely in its infancy.
I believe the Marine Corps, just like I had stated earlier in the question asked to me about the changes, and I mentioned that at times we had very little to do our missions, but we would still accomplish our mission. The Marine Corps is relevant because of its leadership and because of the training that we have. Because we are Marines, we are relevant.
Yes, I think we have evolved. We have put a bigger emphasis on using special forces as well as precision weapon systems. For example, dropping bombs from unmanned aerial vehicles.
From your conversations with current and former Marines, do you think there are any aspects of the Marine Corps that have remained the same?
The one thing that's remained the same and constant is the esprit de corps, the loyalty toward the Marine Corps and our country, the camaraderie especially. That's the number one thing. Marines tend to stick together, and probably because of our confidence and our understanding of the situation, and we know that we can handle any situation. It's almost on the verge of being arrogant, but we train so much that we are very confident, and it's justifiable.
I believe that basic training for Marine enlisted has remained the same. Although I think it's much more challenging for the drill instructors to accomplish their mission, because the changes that come from our leaders and from the politicians, but I believe that the Marines are still the same. From when I joined in 1978 to when I became a drill instructor in 1994, I believe that the Marine drill instructors still accomplish the same mission and make Marines. And I believe that the basic training that the drill instructors provide is the foundation of the Marine Corps.
Yes, one of the key traits of the Marine Corps is focusing on history and traditions and customs and courtesies. That's one of the things that separates us from all of the other services. We really put an emphasis on the Marines that have come before us to ensure that we capture all of their lessons learned to be effective on future battlefields.
How has your service in the Marine Corps changed your life?
I am much more confident in my abilities as a leader and as a manager. What really set me off was when I was a Marine drill instructor, and that taught me how to be an effective leader, how to train my Marines later on in life, and how to lead them with confidence. And also when I became an officer, I went through the officer school, and I was able to understand how the officer ranks thought, and understood that they were responsible for the welfare of their Marines, and they put them first.
That's a difficult question to answer. I believe that my life has always been, it evolved around the Marine Corps because my father was a Marine. I have very little time outside of the Marine Corps. I think what I really enjoyed out of the Marine Corps was meeting people from all over the United States, and getting a different view from different people, and opening my eyes to what this country really is.
Serving in the Marine Corps has given me the leadership skills necessary to be effective on any battlefield, as well as the opportunity to train and mentor young Marines to be successful in the future.
I'm really proud of the Marines that I see now. This is a different Marine Corps. I believe they're a smarter, they're strong. I think we were just as strong back then, but I believe that the Marines we have coming in are much smarter, and therefore that makes them very, very dangerous to other nations that try to mess with the United States.